Tyrus of Greg Guttfeld fame and wrestling fame calls out Fani Willis, says her speech is narcissistic. We'll let you watch and decide. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. We've been following the whole Fani Willis thing from the very beginning. And we're going to give you a brief update on where she's at the very end. But first,
others have found ire with the media for not checking those who unfairly attack African-American women.
The audio is really bad on that speech, but that's her once again bringing up that people are unfairly attacking African-American women. We've had a lot of African-American women on this channel who will disagree with her. I don't see where the ethnicity plays into the attacks, and the fact that she's avoiding her own behavior tells you everything about this lady.
But that same media will jump at the morsel of a chance to tear a sister down.
The media is jumping at the chance to tear a sister down. Is that what the media wants? Media loves women, loves black women. I think they want to tear you down for different reasons than that.
While they over there running their mouth, I'm over here paying them no mind, thriving, ambitious, winning.
Yeah, she's just waiting. Okay, we're going to get to Tyrus's explanation now of what he sees. But first,
I'm so tired of hearing these idiots call my name as Fani in a way to attempt to humiliate me. Because like silly schoolboys, the name reminds them of a woman's rear.
Because that whole speech ends up being very loaded, just that she came out to talk. She's defending herself.
Listen, if you're not doing nothing, there's no reason to speak. She doesn't need to have these meetings. She's doing her job. Yeah.
This is about tactics. That's really what I look at on this show. I'm trying to show you guys the kinds of things that go on in media that maybe we don't quite fully grasp, like that she's out defending herself. And like Tyrus said, if you're out winning, you don't have to go out and make these kinds of defenses. So this is her admitting that she's falling out of favor with the public.
And it's just hilarious how it's always the system is after me, not your inappropriate behaviors that got you in this, not some of your court proceedings and expenditures and whatnot. No, it's the system. It's always very convenient.
And this is true of all victims. And look, I'm an artist, okay? And we go and we act like someone maybe owes us a living. And you just go, look, I can't make a living. It's the system. It's them. It's never me. It's they. If I have some kind of a problem, victims will tend to blame the other person, and people who take personal responsibility tend to look inside first and say, what can I do with what I did?
And that speech to me just drips of just narcissism and trying to make excuses for bad performance.
And it's all cosplay because she's trying to act like she's all hot and she knows all that. This is called the confidence men. Fake confidence. It's not enough. You have to still have the record there, Fani.
I will just take a quote from Jamie Dimon, who said, if you're calling your critics lunatics or ignorance, you better watch out. 74 million of them are out there and they're voting. And you just can't dismiss half of that crowd.
Well, actually, everyone else can dismiss the crowd. It's in politics where you have to be elected, or if you're up against the law, and public opinion does still sway the law, that she has to deal with that. And I have to deal with it too here online. Public opinion on me, you win some, you lose some. So far, I've been doing pretty good.
Also, always remember, a man is not a plan. As Fani herself said.
Thank you. That's how you get banned. If this was a basketball game, it would be a dunk. Let's go Celtics.
Now, he said dunk and Celtics, and I am not going to bring up basketball on my political entertainment show. I resent that he threw that on at the end. But a man is not a plan. The idea that she is going to go forge a relationship with Nathan Wade, I believe that relationship is already over. I think it was over before the ink dried on the money they were printing.
Fani Willis, the Georgia Supreme Court ruled against her, and a judge in a case with a rapper, Young Thug. Basically, it was unraveling that the defense attorney, Brian Steele, had this alleged plot by Fani and the judge to intimidate witnesses.
That's just how corrupt Fulton County is. I did not go into that judge. I could have showed you. They tried jailing one of the lawyers, and the lawyer was going to get thrown out, but he ended up getting out on they ended up appealing it and it failed. And so anyways, the whole system over there is so corrupt that, and it's like spaghetti, a tangle of spaghetti. I couldn't even make heads or tails of it. I really need to get an expert on here like Phil Holloway or something and help us all figure it out. But it's a distraction.
There's some, evidence that she did that with Nathan Wade's ex-wife before this all came to light with what she's facing now.
That is about the witness intimidation by the judge, and that this is a tactic that she used. Other people use that. When they can't win an argument, they're going to try to intimidate you. Anyone who tries to intimidate me, usually with crowd peer pressure going, everyone says, everyone thinks this. What do you think of the crowds? That's a form of intimidation. And it's not how you can't win an argument. And you don't get to the truth by doing that.
On trial, if he's in the White House?
I do believe that he can.
Okay.
I don't believe that it looks good to the rest of the world. But certainly, I don't think that there's anything that would prevent that from happening.
Yeah, so that's Nathan Wade on CNN saying he believes Trump could still have to go to court even if he's in the White House, which is ridiculous because Nathan Wade, he'll be forgotten after this fall.
What if he's convicted?
I don't understand the question. If he's convicted, then just like any other defendant who's convicted, then you go through the sentencing process.
Not if you win the White House, you don't. I say we excuse him. I imagine he'd go through all of the legal challenges he'd have Trump would to the system before he would ever go for excusing himself. And he's got a lot, in the case of Fulton County, Georgia, those charges are not going to stick, according to Mike Davis. Listen to this.
So big Fani Willis hired her big dumb boyfriend, Nathan Wade, who we just saw. She paid him $250 an hour in taxpayer funds, Fulton County funds, and federal COVID funds. She paid him $700,000, and then she took illegal kickbacks.
Okay, that's just the summary of where we've been. I just liked his little catch up there. Now you know what has been going on. Let's go to the future now.
She's going to get disqualified from this case. Her office is going to get disqualified from this case. And any sane, non-corrupt prosecutor who's brought in to handle this case will dismiss these charges because it's not a crime to object to a presidential election.
So we will see this case dismissed eventually if it goes through the proper channels, if there's any such a thing as justice in the country. I do still believe there could be some, but Lady Justice has seen better days. She's waning. She's in a coma.
It's allowed by the Electoral Count Act of 1887 and the First Amendment. Big Fani and her dumb boyfriend, Nathan Wade, may be the people who go to prison.
And that's the main thing I wanted to end on a happy note, that not that I champion anyone going to prison, but I do champion the idea of justice. If justice occurs, and I do believe Fani has done something illegal with her boyfriend. If that's true and the justice system works out, they will go to prison. And if they go to prison, I just find it that if she tried to get Trump thrown in prison and she ends up going to prison, then she has been judged by the standard that she judged someone else. And I agree with that. That's in the Bible. I'm Doug in Exile.